Let's cover the fundamentals and exactly what is a Burp extender or Burp plugin. Now at a high level, the Burp extender is an API that allows you to extend Burp's functionality either within your own code or within some third-party code. For example, Burp can integrate with SQL Map. SQL Map is a third-party SQL injection tool. Now, if you wanted to do this, all that you would need is to install the Burp plugin called CO2 by Jason Gillum. The Burp Extender tab is a UI that allows you to load and manage plugins. Now, you can either load extensions from the B App Store written by other people, or you can load extensions written from your own code. Now, Burp plugins are only limited by your imagination. You can use them to modify HTTP requests and responses, perform tedious tasks such as specialized fuzzying for you. You could even customize your Burp UI with new tabs specific to your plugin. You could also add custom intruder, proxy, or scanner checks, just to name a few of the possibilities of what you can do with Burp plugins. Let's see how a plugin can be used to perform a custom scanner check. In this demo, we're going to take a look at a very helpful plugin that's known as retire.js. And what this plugin does is, using the scanner, it seeks out any kind of obsolete JavaScript files that may be used as dependency libraries inside an application's technology stack. Let's go ahead and see how it works. So what I have here is the juice shop, and I have turned on Foxy Proxy, and I have set my scope as localhost port 3000. And so the other thing that I want to point out is, in Extender, I have loaded the retire.js plugin. Now if you go to the B App Store, you can read a little bit about this plugin. The description says that the extension integrates Burp with the retire.js repository to find vulnerable JavaScript libraries. It passively looks at JavaScript files loaded and identifies those which are vulnerable based on various signature types: URL, file name, file content, or specific hash. So what you would do is install that. Now this does use Scanner, which means we would have to be using Burp Pro. But what we can do is we can run this type of extension against, say, an HTML5 type application in order to determine if they're using any kind of obsolete JavaScript libraries. So let's do that now. So returning to my target tab, I'm going to right click. I'm going to actively scan this host. Now immediately you'll notice that I have some JavaScript files that are identified over here as being obsolete. Let's go ahead and look at the details of some of those. So if I go to my Scanner tab and I go to the Issue Activities table, I'm going to look at the details of one of those findings. So this gives me a description of the particular JavaScript library that is vulnerable. It also describes to me the vulnerable versions and which version I need to upgrade to in order to address the vulnerability. The other thing that I wanted to point out to you is this note right here. This issue was generated by the Burp extension retire.js. Now as we get into writing our own plugins, this might be something you want to consider adding to your output, something that clearly identifies that your plugin has found this issue. In this module, we laid the foundation in understanding macros and plugins and how they can help us in pen testing and automation of tasks while interacting with web applications. We also set up our integrated development environments for each language. Now let's get our hands dirty and start coding some macros and plugins.